Cancer. Hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid-May 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cancer collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Cancerians in early to mid-May 2026? It's Taurus season. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Cancer in early to mid-May. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. I actually haven't seen this card in quite a while, and I do like it. It does have that water sign footprint on it and a little daydreamy. It does remind me of the Four of Cups a little bit. There's a really great aspect to it as well, though. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the May subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk a little more in depth about this. So it's an interesting little image. If you look here, it looks like a little circus. We have two little clown ballerinas. One is up on a tightrope, walking, performing. This one looks like she's all snugged up, taking a little nap, right? Now, I don't see them as two different individuals. I actually feel like it's this one daydreaming about doing that, or this one reminiscing about the past performances. So like this is really strong when it comes to imagination, creativity, which is usually a water sign strength. So just knowing this time the creative juices might be flowing. You might be thinking towards the future as well when this card is here, because it's like, all right, what am I going to do next? Where am I heading? So I think that can be great. Now, the only downside to this type of energy, it could be a little too much in its mind. It could be a little too much in its head. Now, listen, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of daydreaming, right? There's nothing wrong with like drifting off with your head in the clouds sometimes. But you don't want to stay there too long when this energy is here, because it can become a little too overthinky. But overall, it's good. It's creative as long as there's like a release for all this energy, right? Like that's when this energy could get a little difficult if it stays within. So we're going to let her chill right there. She's doing what she's doing. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Cancer in early to mid-May. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was titled An Unexpected Situation. Life does that sometimes, right? Throws us a little curveball here or there. Didn't have to be anything major, but it did feel like something just kind of popping up where it's like, all right, where'd this come from? And that happens from time to time. It could still bleed over for a couple weeks, so keep the head on a swivel here. There could be some random stuff popping up. But overall, it didn't concern me too much. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Cancer. What do we have in early to mid-May? Thank you. Okay, King of Pentacles. Right, that's good, stable. Now, I usually prefer an action card in the beginning, but we'll take the King of Pentacles. It's usually a pretty good, solid, sturdy, stable sign, actually. So we're just going to let him chill right there. Let's get a couple more. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, all right, so we got this 7 of Cups, which fits exactly like that theme we saw with the very first card with the little ballerina. Let's get one more. It's like almost identical. I know I said it reminds me of like the Four of Cups, but these are identical. Okay, 2 cards pop out. We got our good friend here, the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself without a beard, chilling right there on the back. There's a nice little counterbalance to this energy, and I like the elements. And then right here on the back end, we have the star looking right. So Cancer, I'm optimistic about the energetic outlook this week. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that frames the reading and tells us how the energy could flow. And in the main part of the spread, it's earth and water. Now, these 2 elements actually work very well together. I always say when you mix earth and water, it can represent blessings and abundance. We do have a little bit of air over here lingering. But remember, the bonus card is just another little footnote. Now, when it comes to the earth, I like it. It's practical. It's an energy of stability and security, whether it's internal or external. When I see earth, I think of day to day routine. I think of stability. I think of predictability. Nice. It could be work, business, finance, anything in the money related realm that could be on your mind. You might be in pentacle mode, especially with the King of Pentacles and the earthy energy there. Home and family. So when I see earth, I think of matters of the material realm. The downside to Earth is sometimes it can feel a little stuck, right? Like sometimes it's not moving at the speed I'd like it to move. Sometimes I feel a little stuck with this energy. But the water here on the back end does loosen that up because this one is much more adaptable. Now, when it comes to water, that's your power zone, that's your comfort element. It's a good thing in a Cancer reading for sure, even if you're cross watching for a Cancer, because it loosens up all this earthy energy in the front. Now, water is matters of the heart, matters of emotion, whether it's people. I mean, because personal relationships do tie into the water suit. It could be intuition, it could be energetic and emotional sensitivity. I like the creativity that's connected with this as well, like the creative juice is flowing. So we think of matters of the heart. The downside to water is that sometimes it could be very intense, but listen, cancers are very adept at working with this type of energy, so I'm not really concerned. But yeah, it can be overwhelming sometimes. Then here on the back end, we have the air. Air element is more logical, pragmatic about the facts, about information. You may have a thirst for knowledge when there's a little bit of air showing up in a reading. It could be communication. The only downside with air is this can also be a little bit too much in its mind, and sometimes it could be detached and cold. So we got a good mix. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we got our good friend the King of Pentacles. Big earth sign vibes right there. Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Remember, it's not gender specific. This could just be an energy you're stepping into. And when I look at any king, they represent control of their respective suit. So we did speak about the elements and what they mean. The King of Pentacles is like, all right, it's like budgeting. It's like, I got this unlocked, this unlocked, this unlocked. It's like very predictable, very stable. So normally I really like this card for anything business, work, or money related. It's a good sign. Now, especially if you're dealing with things like that right now, the King of Pentacles, normally I say, oh, that's a big win. That's a big victory. So we're going to need to clarify to see what it is. Unless you're connected to an earth sign, it might give us more detail. Remember, this is big boss energy, so I do like it. Now, the downside to the King of Pentacles, when he flips up in reverse, his energy can be a little bit swingy, right? Where it's a little up and a little down, very similar to the water energy. So we want to keep a close eye on it. Sometimes the energy could be a little bit stubborn. So I'm not sure if you're dealing with a stubborn situation or a stubborn person, but we're going to keep an eye on the king. Moving to the center, we have the Seven of Cups. And as I already mentioned, it is very, very similar to the first oracle card that we had in this spread. Now, I like to call this card the menu board of life. We see our little friend here is like, which cup am I going to take? Which direction am I going to go? So I love this for choices, decisions, a lot of things in front of me, even if they're paths that haven't even opened up to me yet. I just love the Seven of Cups for options. So it's great. Um, it's a big manifestation card. So, like visualization, prayer, meditation, all that inward speaking to manifest things in the material reality is represented by this. But again, this is also daydreaming, creative in its mind, a little bit of fantasizing. Stuff like that could happen with the Seven of Cups. The downside is that this can be in dreamland a little too much. This could be a little fantasizing a little too much, like just in the etheric realm as opposed to the material. But I do feel like we have a pretty good balance here, so I'm not super concerned about it. It could be really good. Now, moving to the back end, love the ideas too. That's another thing I'll say, Cancer. Like right now, you might be a good idea person, whatever it is you're dealing with, where it's like, aha, eureka. That's really great. But on the back end, we got our really good friend here, the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself. Big water sign energy. This is a Cancer power card. Remember, not gender specific, so this could be an energy you're stepping into. Really good. Or I mean, it could be another Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Now, remember, kings represent control of their respective suit. So all the things about emotion, all the things about the dreaminess and the creativity, this king rules over it. Now, the King of Cups also represents the fullest expression of emotion, love, and feeling. So normally he's great. Like he's just cup runneth over. I'm exploding with love. That's a great thing. But the downside to the King of Cups is the emotional intensity, right? Like since it is the fullest expression, it could be very, very intense. And similar to the king, could be a little swingy, right? A little up and down. So that's just something to pay attention to. But when we look at the main part of the spread, these energies balance each other off perfectly. We have like a nice middle ground, especially in the center. So we'll circle back on this King of Cups and see what he has to say. Moving to the back end here for our bonus card, we have the Star. Beautiful. This is one of the wish fulfillment cards. Big Aquarius energy right here. To me, it's like a future is bright type of energy. Um, Something really great could be coming in whenever the Star shows up. Now, it's filled with hope. It's filled with promise in a brighter day, and that's something I love about this card. But the downside is it could also flip in the reverse, where maybe I'm feeling down, maybe I'm feeling a little hopeless. But overall, when I look at the whole spectrum, I'm feeling optimistic about what we got going here. I want to dive deeper on all the Cancer. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that King of Cups. I mean, the King of Pentacles, pardon me. We'll get to the King of Cups eventually. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cancer, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, King of Pentacles, what's he doing? What is he doing here? Wow. Huge. Big. All right, so we have the Ace of Cups. Now, aces to me, they represent offers and opportunities. This absolutely has to be a win, because this also ties into like the energetic emotional state. Now, for some of you, this could be a very grounding talk or conversation. You know how sometimes in life we feel like we're floating a little bit? When I see the King of Pentacles with the Ace of Cups, it's like, all right, I feel grounded. I feel stable. I feel sturdy. So there's something very stabilizing about this. So this could be like a very good conversation, or even some exciting news that I think is great. But especially with the Ace of Cups in a Cancer reading, offers, opportunities, fresh new energy. And even looking at this guy, these are all different Aces of Cups. So it's like we're flooded with these aces here. So again, for some of you, you got to reach out and grab it, right? That's what I always say about all aces: offers, opportunities, whether it is work related, whether it's emotion related. You know, the universe could present you all the aces in the world. You got to reach out and grab it. So that's just something to keep in mind. And it doesn't mean you have to, but I wouldn't be shocked if a large majority of Cancers receive some massive offer, big offer of some kind. Again, whether it is work or personal related, because offers can also be emotional offers as well, where someone might want to open up. So we have this nice stabilization in the front end. I don't think we need to overcomplicate it. So beautiful, either some exciting news, stabilizing conversation, or massive offer of some kind. It looks great. It looks great. It's making me even more optimistic. Let's keep going. We're going to go in on the Seven of Cups. Let's keep it moving here. I'm liking what we're seeing, my friends. That's for sure. It is water heavy, but this is a water sign reading. Okay. Wow. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. It's just like suddenly doors open up. This could be like a shocking breakthrough of some kind, even, and I'm not even over exaggerating. The Wheel of Fortune is my four-leaf clover, the tarot deck, so it seems like we're getting better and better as we move along. And if there's any sign that needs this energy, it would be the Cancer Collective, because like in recent weeks, there has been that little bit of up and down. But I love it. It's like Jupiter energy. It's expansive. It's lucky. The only downside I see with the Wheel of Fortune is that it moves so suddenly, right? Like it's not like the world. It's not like slow, meticulous, like this energy here in the front. It's like boom, like it's a change overnight, or it's like an explosive breakthrough of some kind. So to me, it's like all of a sudden doors open up. So I would expect breakthroughs in various different areas, not even just one. Like we have this singular one here, but underneath this Seven of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, it's like once one door opens, the rest open. It's like a domino effect of goodness. Okay. And you listen, I know I'm optimistic. I always try to be so. Um, but even with that being said, and looking through like my regular neutral glasses, this is really, really good stuff. So again, whether it's like a sudden breakthrough, explosive breakthrough, whatever damn label we want to put on it, uh, the moral of the story is it's good, and I like it, and it's exciting. We're going to keep going. So there could be a variety of different breakthroughs, whether it's internal and emotional, whether it's external, whether it's work, whether it's relationships. To me, there's like a domino effect where like one thing leads to the next, leads to the next. Once this one door opens, the rest of them do. So very claimable this week. Let's go in on the King of Cups. We'll see what he has, then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the King of Cups here for my Cancer friends? Thank you. Yeah, doors opening. Doors opening, my good friend. So we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse underneath it. It's like 1,000 pounds off my shoulders. That's the best way for me to describe how this looks. So if there is a situation, if there has been something that's kind of like bugging you, that's been plaguing you, that's been weighing on your heart, weighing on your mind, when I see the King of Cups with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, either one, this could be a conversation, again, similar to this King in the front, where the energy opens up. But that seems to be the theme throughout this whole entire reading, where it's like this energy opens up, then more opens up, and then this opens up. It's like doors flinging open, if that makes sense. And I like it. I love it. I think it's really good. Now, the Four of Pentacles can sometimes show up for monetary things. I would say it's a very neutral card to me, because when it comes to money, work, finance, this is a beautiful energy because this person's stacking pentacles. But when it comes to the emotions, the Four of Pentacles can be difficult because it's holding on to something, it's suppressing something, it's keeping something inside. So in reverse underneath this King of Cups, I'm not saying that it's necessarily letting go of something. To me, it's more so of that breakthrough mold, where it's like this happens and I feel better, and then this happens and this happens and this happens and then this happens. It's like one thing after another after another, but it's a good domino effect here. So the name of this reading, not the name, but the theme of this reading is doors opening in a very big way. So again, there could be a situation, a feeling, a thought, or something that's been plaguing you for a while that suddenly it's like doesn't bother you as much, or maybe it gets resolved. That's like a very big possibility, because I love this for problem resolution. It's like weight is off my shoulders. I don't feel burdened by something. So let's go through and do a quick recap. I absolutely love the reading this week, probably the best one from the whole zodiac, to be honest with you. But if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we start off here big with the King of Pentacles, Ace of Cups in the upright. Yes, offers, opportunities. It could be some exciting news or a conversation that makes me feel grounded and secure. Big offer, and it starts the domino effect, because as we move to the middle, we have the Seven of Cups with the Wheel of Fortune, very sudden or explosive breakthrough of some sort. And I think it's beautiful, where it's like all the doors start flinging open, all the things start opening up for me. So it gets better and better progressively as we move through the reading this week. On the back end, we got our good pal, the King of Cups with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Once again, weight off my shoulders. So there could be a situation, a problem, whatever it might be, that's been bugging me for a while that no longer feels as heavy. So it's like I'm letting this weight off my shoulders. And especially with the star on the background, Cancer, this reading is claimable this week. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got for Cancer? What is in the shadows for our good Cancerian friends? Okay, another people. We got people, right? So we got the Page of Pentacles, nice. So again, very similar to the Aces. It's a fresh, new energy, big Earth sign vibes again. So there's a similarity to what we got going on here on the front end. Now, the great thing about Pages, it's great for absorbing information. It's great for new things, new ventures, new ways of looking at stuff. Really nice. But the downside to Pages is they sometimes represent suppression, shyness, biting one's tongue. Unsure, uneasy type of energy, which is the complete and total opposite of what we had going on with the King of Cups. So I'm still expecting a lot of great energy to come in for you, even though this shows up in the shadows. And there is something here around a conversation of some sort that just makes me feel so much better when I see this in the shadows. But yeah, there could be some combos popping up like we saw last week, where it's like, all right, that's random. That's kind of out of nowhere. But again, opening doors, things opening up, because this is suppression, but it can open up in a big way. So Cancer, that's what I got for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the May subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My May calendar is up and the spots go quick, so you might want to check it out. But for the May subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to win either a copy of the Tarot of the Owls, beautiful deck, and it's really nice, or 3 custom made pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, out of the cards that showed up in this week's reading, which one caught your attention most or resonated with you most. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the posts tab. My friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.